Shanti.
It was so much fun, both being the Shaktis and the angels and the deities. And so just project your mind forward and think about how beautiful it will be when it's truly that age. But now also the Shaktis, and I was happy to see some of the Pandavas were also Shaktis. But in fact, all the Pandavas are Shaktis, taking Baba's power. But also all the Shaktis are the guides, and so the Pandavas. So Baba plays around with all these terms. One moment we are all brothers, next moment we are all Sitas. So Baba loves to play with us. And the more you play with Gyan in your mind, the happier you are. Somebody had said to Dadi, you have such great fun with God. And it's true, isn't it? And then really, whether you're on your own or whether you're in a little family or a big family, there's always happiness. Never anyone lonely, no such sign of things such as loneliness, depression. Goodbye to all those things of Kali Yuga. There's a lovely expression that Baba uses. Baba has created a little pot of Sangam Yuga, and he's transplanted you from Kali Yuga into the little pot, and then from there you go home, and then you get transplanted into the deity garden. And so we're enjoying Sangam Yuga. Let's have just a few minutes of reflection on today's Murli and great fun, but what we have to do now. The more we experiment with Gyan, the more powerfully our original sanskars emerge. And so just keep thinking about Baba's Murli. And somebody, as we were walking back, asked a question. And I think it's a useful question for everyone, because I spoke of the battle between the feelings and emotions and the conscience. And so the question was, well, explain a bit more about all this. And feelings and emotions can be very pure and positive. When we feel love for Baba, that's very pure. But also, feelings and emotions can be very negative. and they can take us through a roller coaster. But conscience isn't unstable like that, especially if the buddhi is linked with Baba, and the buddhi has, buddhi, you understand that word? The intellect, the vessel that holds everything. So if my intellect holds Baba's knowledge, and I get Baba's knowledge every day from the Murli, so if that's being held in the intellect by churning it, otherwise it goes in one ear, comes out of the other, and half an hour after the Murli, what's today's Murli about? And by the end of the day, really you don't remember a word of the Murli. But keep the Murli alive and let it sit in the intellect by reflecting on it. And what will happen as a result of that is that your conscience will become more and more powerful, and you'll be able to discern more easily right and wrong. While the intellect is not churning gyan, it can't be powerful. The conscience can't make a proper judgment because there isn't any clarity of discernment. But Baba's gyan clears the intellect, and so the conscience becomes strong and it's able to discern well, and also with more practice not only discern but also put it through into action, because often we've been in situations where we know right and wrong, but still the feelings are stronger than the conscience, and so it overrides the conscience. But if I've been churning gyan, there's clarity, and if I've been having yoga, there's power, and that power enables me to make sure that the feelings don't take over. And then, with gyan, I'm able to transform my feelings and create good feelings, pure feelings, like Baba was saying today, and then everything is aligned together. The other thing that I was reflecting on was, I'm a Brahmin, and how did I become a Brahmin? It was through faith. Whether it was the dadis who just instantly seeing Baba had faith, or whether it's all of us with gyan, I would say I'm in that category too, because I saw Baba many times, but there was love, but I didn't know he was God's instrument. And then when I took gyan, then I recognized that this is God's instrument. And so my faith came through hearing gyan, and I think that applies to most people sitting here also. And then yes, you have experiences that consolidate that faith. But having faith that I'm a Brahmin is one thing. Having faith that I am an angel, we hear it and we agree, but then what is there deep in my heart that's preventing me from actually manifesting that? Must be something. Or even when Baba says, can you emerge your deity sanskars today? Wearing a crown is lovely, but it's not enough. I need to actually manifest those qualities. Then I know that I am a deity. At one point, Avyakt Bapdada said to me, a lift has 5 sides to it, and all 5 sides have to be closed before the lift can move. And the lift is a lift of faith. Faith in yourself, faith in God, faith in the family, and faith in drama. And so when you have faith on all 4 sides, then you can move in the lift and the ascent begins and you're able to reach the top. And so I think that actually applies to all of us. It's easy to have faith in Baba once you have gyan, because you see that the things that Baba's telling you, nobody else has told you this far. And so who's the one who's speaking? It's not a human. Brahma Baba himself says, I didn't know these things. And so faith in God, in Baba, not just God, Shiv Baba, very specific. And then faith in the family, does it stay steady and stable? Sometimes as faith you see goodness and you see how souls are amazing and tireless and do so much for Baba. Then you see someone show up with their Kalyugi sanskars and you say, what's going on? And so today Baba told us, don't worry about them, worry about yourself. So faith in the family tends to fluctuate. But there's one thing that you learn about the family, that the family is always going to be with you. They'll always, always be there for you. They might show up with their other sanskars from time to time, but at a moment of need, any one of the family will be there for you. Who's had that experience? Yeah, I think mostly. And if you haven't had that experience, just look back and emerge it. And I'm sure you'll find episodes, instances where truly you would not be here today if it weren't for the family. And so faith in the family grows gradually. It doesn't happen automatically. It grows gradually. And you have to nurture that faith. And then faith in drama, that also gradually grows. There's something that happens and you say, why did this happen? It shouldn't have happened like this. And then a little while later, you realize that because this happened, other doors opened and many good things happened after that. You lose something, but you gain a lot more. And so faith in drama begins to grow. Truly, drama is benevolent, it's beneficial. And so gradually you learn to lessen the gap between what's happening, which the heart says why, but then the conscience says there's a reason. And you overcome the feelings and emotions and you stabilize yourself. And you shorten the distance between the incident and where you can think of the benevolence of that. And so can I shorten that to such a point where something happens and instantly I say sweet drama, not just drama, because sometimes when we say drama, it's frustration. I'm not appreciating the sweetness of drama. But if I remind myself to say sweet drama, it becomes sweet much faster than it would otherwise. Somebody told me once, if you knock your elbow against the wall or the door or anything, or you stub your toe or you crash into anything, if you were to gently put your hand on the door and say, thank you, the pain will go away faster. The wound will heal faster. And it's true. It sounds crazy, but not so crazy, because even matter, non-living things, they are vibration, the energy. And so if I'm giving it good energy of gratitude, it's going to calm down, and it's also going to reduce the effect on the person. Try it. Next time anything like that happens. I also laughed when I heard it first. But it really works. And not just rub yourself. You can rub yourself also, but whatever it is that you've bumped into, because you've caused them sorrow. So they're where they were. They haven't moved. I've moved. So it wasn't their fault, it was mine. So drama, if you're sweet with drama, drama responds and is sweet with you. And so drama, family, God. So which is the one thing that we really need to work on? Faith in the self. Why? Because the thing that's closest to me is me. And the thing that reacts most of all is me. My own sanskars react. My own habits react. And so to learn to have faith, stable faith that, yes, victory is my birthright. You heard Baba say that many, many times. Well, how much do you believe it? To what percentage do you believe it? And so today Baba was asking us to check percentages. To what extent have I become an angel? And to what extent am I close to becoming a deity? You heard it again now, but truly, today's Murli is for us, those who are gathered here especially. It's like when you were in Madhuban, you knew that the Murli was for the world. People from all over were listening and watching. But because you were there in front of Baba, you really felt Baba's talking to me. And it was true that whoever was in front of Baba, it would be as if it would emerge from the ocean. And I don't think Baba has a plan before Baba comes and speaks. Like I was sharing about Ramesh Bhai yesterday, Brahma Baba definitely didn't make notes before coming to speak a Murli. What he did do was make sure his mind was completely clear, completely clean. Whatever were the problems of the yajna, Baba wasn't thinking about those. And so Baba was preparing the awareness to be able to receive God and to let God do His work. I don't think God prepares or plans what He's going to come and say to us. But God understands the feelings of everyone who's around and the rest of the world, but especially those who are there. And so what Baba would say would be something that was personal and significant for the soul. But that's what happens with every single Murli. If you treat it that way, Baba is talking to me, and this is personally for me. And if you take it that way, then it registers more deeply. Baba's talking to 1 million people, it's okay. But Baba's talking to me. And so when I take that personally and I practice all the things that Baba's talking about, my faith in myself begins to grow. Our faith in ourselves has been destroyed, A, because we didn't follow our conscience, and so that destroyed a lot of our faith. But also, probably from childhood, in the last few births of Kali Yuga, parents were correcting you, parents were critical of you, parents expected too much of you, and kept telling you off and telling you you're not good enough. Is that right? And of course, the parents who experience that as children do the same to their children. However they've been taught, they do the same. And they don't realize that they're doing it. But because they've observed it so much and felt it so much, it's something that's ingrained, and so it comes out again. Instead of learning, well, I didn't like it when my parents said that. Let me do it differently now. Before Gyan, you don't do that. You just follow the same pattern. A child of an alcoholic is more likely to be an alcoholic than another child. So we don't realize how much we're influenced just by watching and being in that company. But now, keep yourself in company with the truth, and that influence works. And so Baba's influence is on me. And so, yes, I have the key for transformation. People today are talking about transformation, but A, they don't know what they want to become, and B, they don't have the power. And Baba's given us an amazing aim maybe they'd say, well, I'd like to get rid of a few habits. I'd like to be more kind. I'd like to be more generous. But that's about it. They would never imagine that they could become an angel or that they could become a deity. And the other thing is actually, maybe it's not in the recording of the soul. And so even if you say to them, but don't you realize you are an angel? They say, I don't think so. But maybe they don't have that recording. You know, when I see souls who say, well, I don't hear it so much in the last 3-4 years since the Ukraine war started and the Gaza story. But before that, so many people would say, so what's wrong with the world? It's fine, it's okay. And it instantly told me that they've never experienced that age when everything was perfect and souls were, all of them were happy. So it's not in their recording, so it's not their fault. And so you can't say anything about it. You have to accept it. It's the drama. But for Baba's children, the recording is already there. That's why you're here. That's why you hear the Murli every day. You wouldn't be hearing the Murli every day if that recording wasn't there. And if you're not hearing the Murli every day, ask yourself the question, what happened to my recording? Was there a little bit of a lapse there? But certainly if you hear the Murli every day, you know that that recording of the angel form, that recording of the deity form is there within me. And so firstly, can I totally believe it 100%? And when I believe it 100%, then the next thing is, do it. If I believe it, can I do it? And yes, Baba's giving me the power, Baba's reminding me every day, and life is much sweeter if I emerge those sanskars. Everybody wants a happy life, and my life can be happy if I'm following Srimad and doing what Baba's asking me to do. And if I'm not, okay, do as you wish and take whatever it is you want. The beautiful thing about drama is that Sangam Yug, all the parts are open, not the 8, but everything else. And so choose, what is the part you want to play? You want to be Narayan? Go for it. You want to be Lakshmi? Why not? And so choose. You know, this is a time when the director is casting the actors in their roles. And so if I say, I know I'm an angel, and I just need to play that part now, Baba will say, you take that one step forward of faith and courage, and I'll help you 1,000-fold. So by the time you leave this retreat, make that commitment to Baba firm, 100%. I know I was an angel last Kalpa, and this is what I am now. Not I will be. I am that now. It's just still hidden under a few layers of other stuff. So just simply emerge it, and it'll happen beautifully. And today Baba giving the description of the angel, double light. Just as you experiment with the soul, the being of light, the shining star, and it's such a beautiful experience to have. You know, if you've been somewhere beautiful before, you keep remembering it. So experience this, be there, and then you want to keep being there. You want to experience it more and more. So the more I do that, here you go, you're the angel. You won't grow wings, but definitely your presence will uplift others. Your presence will give them happiness. Your presence will remind them of God. People remind each other of various things. if I was last with you in London, I'll say, oh, we were together in London or Madhuban or wherever. But can my presence remind somebody of their home? I know you're talking about perfection and so on, but I also feel that all of us abroad outside Bharat are not just finding the Brahman souls. I think we're also finding all the souls of the whole world, the whole tree, to be able to show them the way back home. It's a double duty we have. Yes, let my presence remind others of Satyug, so that then they start preparing for Satyug. But can my presence also remind souls that it's time to go home? Angels are messengers of God. Angels remind God. God uses angels to remind others of God and of peace and purity. And so remember, when you leave here, you're a messenger. For your family, where Lokik family doesn't always understand instantly, through your behavior, they will begin to have respect for you and regard for you and what it is you're doing. They might never become Brahmins, that's okay. Whatever their destiny is, it'll unfold. But if they see you as an angel, a messenger of God, bringing peace to others, they will love you for that. And they'll respect whatever it is you're doing. If at the moment they don't respect, it's because they don't see the qualities that you talk about. But when they see that, they'll change. But definitely, our role is to remind souls that it's time to journey home, to a land of peace, a world of peace that we all came from. It's a different role. I remember when we were doing the Million Minutes of Peace Appeal, the title came from Australia. Then a group in London sat and churned it at length and then came up with this idea of a minute contribution, many minutes contribution, and then discussing it with New York and Australia and others. Everything became more and more clear. It evolved. The whole plan wasn't ready-made, but we gradually evolved it. But when we presented it in Madhuban, just as a plan that some of us were going to do, at that time, I think maybe there were 60 countries in the world that had centers, no more than that. But many of the teachers were there in Madhuban, and they all accepted the idea and wanted to do it. So instead of being a national project, it became an international project through public interest, through demand. And in India, we asked them if they wanted to participate. And they said, will it create Brahmins? And we said, well, maybe, but we're not sure. But at least the message of peace will reach out. And they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes, so we carried on. Because it was a UN project and New York was very much part of this. And then somehow by August, and we were planning to start in September, by August they began to be a little bit interested, but it was too late because all the materials and everything had been done in a different way. And then after, of course, Madhuban is registered as our international headquarters with the UN. So although India didn't do the project, Madhuban got the award, and so Dadi Prakash Mani was there, and other countries, 6 other countries also received the award. But after that, they then said, can we do the project again? This time we'll participate. But you can see how the focus in Bharat, it's fine. The deity kingdom is going to be there. And so the maximum number of deities are there. That's also fine. But our duty outside Bharat is to serve the whole tree and to find ways like Baba said today, have them have the sense that this isn't something separate from us, but we are also part of this. So the journey home will be together. It won't be only the deity souls and then the rest of the world. It'll be together with Baba. And so I feel that our stage is what is going to serve now. People have heard similar words very, very often. And then they've seen that people don't follow the things that they're talking about. Another very interesting thing. 21st January, when Baba, Shiv Baba, when Shiv Baba came in Dadi Gulzar, my good fortune to be there at that time for all the ceremonies and whatever. And Baba gave us a full plan for what Madhuban would do, how there would be sustenance, how the Murlis would be revised, how Baba would keep coming and sustain us. The commander had the full plan that he presented to the army. And at the end, Baba said, there will be 3 test papers that come in front of you. One paper will be of unity. The stars in the sky are all together, but you are the living stars of the earth, and so all of you have to be unified, and that's going to be part of Baba's revelation. The second, Baba said, people will come to check you out. They will come to see whether you're actually doing what you talk about. So they'll want to check the purity, the vibrations of that. They'll want to check that there is really that state that Baba talks about, that purity should be felt by others in vibration. All the other things that we say, are we doing it? And the third one, don't think about it too much, because Baba told us don't think about it, but I'll mention it because we see things happening. There'll be the impact of evil spirits, and the way to protect yourself and others will be through yoga power. So don't worry about it and don't think about it, because your thinking will open the door to other influences. But just know that yoga power is our protection for ourselves and for others around us also. And so very, very important to have that. So the unity of the family, the practical lifestyle, the dharana of the family, and then yoga power. So these are the things that we need more and more as the cycle of time moves very quickly to the next phase. Nature is asking Baba, how much longer? But also souls who are suffering are asking Baba, how much longer? And third, who else is asking Baba? The advanced party is asking Baba, how much longer? And so we have to make that decision. Baba said, set a date. Now, how to set a date for everyone is a challenge, but at least I can target for myself. What is it that I need to work on, which is my deepest sanskar, that I know is inhibiting me from coming there? And so let me set a target for myself so that I'm able to bring that change within myself that will impact everything else within my life. And faith in myself. See yourself as Baba sees you. Baba's seeing me as the angel. Baba's seeing me as the future deity. If I hold that vision of myself, then I can see others with that same vision. If I don't see myself in that way, there's no way I can see you as an angel. I'll just say, Angel? How is she going to be an angel? But that's because I'm not seeing myself as an angel. If I see myself as an angel, then I'd say, yes, definitely, she's an angel too. And so we need to reduce that gap between our understanding and our experience. Anything else anyone wants to say? I think I've said all the things I wanted to say, except a big, big thank you. The program in Johannesburg was amazing, A to Z. Absolutely every item was excellent. And I'm sure the program today is going to be the same. But also this retreat that all of you worked hard to make happen has been beautiful. Every session has been well attended. Every session, all of you have been present. And then sometimes last night you were a little bit sleepy. But that was only a few, not everyone. But that's okay. After a long day, it's understandable. And I know that you'll carry away sweet memories, but I will also. And I just want to thank the board, the NCT. I know not all the board members are here, convey my thanks to them, but also the NCT and every single one of you, because the whole family together makes things happen. Title, no title, doesn't matter. When Dadi Janki came abroad, she came for 2 weeks. She stayed for 40 years. And she did it because Baba wanted her to and she was motivated. And nobody gave her a title. And then towards the end of her time abroad, people were joking and calling her the foreign minister. And she didn't like it. She said, it's not just foreign land, it's Bharat. And then Rama brought her to Bharat. And in a very conscious way, she said to Hansa, even if it's a little place that invites me, I'm going to go there, so don't say no to them. And she won everybody's heart because she just traveled to little places, big places. Can you imagine traveling at that age and with health that had been fragile the whole of her life? And after her falls, she was about 95 when she started to have a few falls. And the last one that she had was very severe. She was out of action for quite a while. And it always troubled her physically. But she just went above it. And we'd say, are you sure, Daddy? Can we say yes to these people? Baba will make me well. Say yes. And her faith just managed to make everything happen. But the family is the one that makes everything happen. And so just have that sense of belonging and let others who come also immediately get that sense of belonging too. I don't think there are any questions, are there? No. So let's just have powerful yoga sending out that light, especially to Africa. The rest of the world, okay. But this meditation, let it be just for Africa especially. Because Africa needs help. Everywhere needs help. But at this moment, Africa needs help. Thank you from my heart to everyone. Om Shanti.
surrender to you, Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva, Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva. I rest my mind on you. It's all I want to do. I give this life to you. I surrender to you. Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva. Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva, 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 Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva. I rest my mind on you. It's all I need to do to free my mind from pain and sorrow. I give this life to you. It's all I want to do. I surrender to you, Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva, Manmana Baba, Madhya Jiva.
The beauty about you is your faith in God. Your wisdom gives us courage. When you smile, the sun has to move aside and allow your smile to brighten the world. Tina, we are so fortunate to have you. You are a living ancestor, because when we look at you, we see our future in you. Klegas, I honor you with all my heart. And I'm saying this on behalf of this congregation here. I love you, and I know every single one of us loves you. You have left our hearts full. Nothing is lacking. All we have to do is to promise you that we will do our very best to make the effort that we were discussing here today. Tamako.
I think Fatima said it all, and it's a good thing I gave her the mic first, otherwise. Our hearts are full, isn't it? And Jayanti, there's no words to say in terms of saying thank you, but I think everyone feeling so fulfilled. And it's been such a rich time together, really such a rich time together. And, even last night, just that feeling that, and as I said at the beginning, you bring such a powerful feeling of Madhuban and all of our daddies, especially Daddy Jayanti. We've all have been so deeply sustained by the daddies and by Jayanti Ben, and just that feeling that closeness is there and that continues to sustain us. And so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Om
I have to say that I think probably this is the largest family in Africa. Out of all the countries and all the different centers, is that right? I think so. So congratulations. Sorry.
It was worth the wait. Thank you. So, Sister Fatima's left a big lump in my throat. So, while I was sitting there and listening to you, Jayanti Ben, and the question that Bharat had when they asked if million minutes of peace would create Brahmins, so I'm going to tell a short story. So that was 1986. And I was not a Brahmin, and I was sitting in the waiting room of the homeopath. And they always had magazines, and they always had Odyssey magazine. I'm sure many of you remember, spiritual magazine. And I was reading an article, which I've never forgotten, written by the editor, describing the closing ceremony of Million Minutes of Peace in the cathedral, with the sun streaming through the windows. I'm sure you were there. And, I felt, well, in retrospect, that like a good fisherman, Baba just put the hook in. And 2 years later, when I met the BK family, instantly I knew these were the people. And then Baba just reeled me in. So yes, I think in its own way it did create Brahmins. So I'm not going to say anything more. I can just feel everyone's heart is. I can feel mine. So full. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it. Om Shanti. Thank you. Bye.